Dave Gardner along with Jim Urban. We are live at Jersey Mike's for Northside Game Night Live. And boy, Jim, we've had a lot of guests this year. I'm not sure any show is going to be as special as the guests we have right now. We have not only the coach of the Monarchs, we have the coach of the 2A state champion Northside Monarchs. We have Coach Marshburn. Coach Marshburn, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you guys for inviting me.
It's been a long road, a long year. 30 wins and 0 losses. Now, we knew the Monarchs were good coming in, Coach. Did you think they were 30-0 good?
You know, honestly, I thought we could have been. I mean, I'm still very humble, but I looked at this group and I looked at our schedule. Of course, you know, when you're playing this non-conference schedule we're playing, and even some of the teams in our conference, you know, you don't know. But, we started off with a big win against New Hanover way back in November. And, I saw a lot of potential in this group, And, you never really know, but as far as based on potential, I saw this team having a really good year. Now, whether it was 30-0 or whatever, you don't know that until you play them. But I look back and I'm not really surprised, because this particular group this year, I call them a special group. Very focused, very mature group. They just and together, and by that I mean unselfish. They cared about each other. I thought they made winning the most important thing, and not about their scoring averages, not about their minutes in the game. But I just thought it was a group this year that was I look back and I go, it was a very special group. And I've had some really good groups at Northside, and I think a lot about all the kids I've coached, obviously. But, some teams are better than others. But I really thought this was a special group. And doing this as long as I have, 34 years, you kind of have a feeling, sometimes. And now, I know you got to be good and lucky to get all the way to the state championship game. And by good, I mean you got to have some talent. You got to have some, you got to have some skill. You got to have some chemistry. As far as lucky, injuries, I've seen teams decimated by injuries before, and you always keep your fingers crossed and knock on wood and pray to God that, that's one aspect you don't have to deal with, during that particular season. And we were very fortunate this year. I think we had some minor tweaks on ankles every now and then, but nothing major. We were lucky in that regard. So, it's hard to go undefeated. I've been doing this a long time, and I think it's probably the first undefeated team I've had here. I know it's the first undefeated team I've had here at Northside in my career. I'm not really sure. I mean, it's spanned a long time, but it couldn't have happened to a more deserving group of guys. I mean, they're just good kids, man, and I was fortunate enough to be their coach this year and be a part of it.
Coach, we had an opportunity last year and this year to follow the men's football team, and they went to the state championship this past year. And it seems to me, from being able to follow the fans of Northside and being a parent of a Northside student, this championship meant way more than just basketball. It meant Northside High School and all the students and all the family and all the friends, they were state champions as well.
Yeah. I tell you what, one of the most incredible moments after the game was when I was up on the concourse. I just left the press conference, and of course, we'd had conversation here as well up on the concourse. But when all the press conferences were over, and I walked back down the concourse, and I was able to see the Monarchs, the fans, the former players, the families, and I saw all the excitement. And I'm thinking, this is what it's all about. These everyone's here, they're excited and they're part of it. We played the game, our kids played the game, but, they brought so much excitement and fanfare to everyone involved that is a Monarch. I call it Monarch Nation. Mm-hmm. And I was just, it was ecstatic and just to see all that. I had so many former players there, not just kids I coached at Northside, but some of the kids I coached over at White Oak, some of the kids I coached at Southwest many years ago, they were there. And they were supporting Monarch Nation, and so to see everybody, full of joy, jumping up and down, excited, hugging, and all those things really kind of put everything in perspective. And you're right. I mean, it was, Northside was looking for a champion. I mean, we've had some great teams over the years. We have. Coach Pollock did a great job this year with the football team. I mean, did a superb job and opened the door. I mean, I always felt, Coach East and me have talked over the years, if one team could get to the state championship game and open that door, then it would allow or hopefully help the rest of us to come on through with that opportunity. And when Coach Pollock, when the football team got there this year, and I said, well, the door's been open now. And I told my basketball players the first day, I told them, I said, the door's been open. I said, it's open for us. And I said, we want to take it one step further. And when I got the football players, I said, all the guys down in the locker room, when I picked my team, and I said, here's the deal. I said, you football players are coming in and with championship experience. And you can talk to these other guys, like the guys I already have selected on the basketball team, and I said, you let them know what it takes. I said on a daily basis, and the togetherness, the camaraderie, and all the things you have to build a championship team. I mean, there's a lot of building blocks. And I said, this is where you football players can really be an asset to us this year. You can really help lead the way because you've been in that state championship game. And you know what? Those 6 guys came in and did a phenomenal job for us. And they helped lead us, and I thought Demetrius Jones Saturday night, he was a football player, but I just thought he did an incredible job. I thought he really got us going, and I thought he was all over the boards. I don't remember how many boards he had in the first quarter alone, but I mean, he was just very, very active, which didn't surprise me because I kept seeing Demetrius improve. We didn't get the football players till December 19th. We'd already played 9 games, and I knew they weren't going to blend overnight. I knew it was going to be a process to blend them in, but I felt like hopefully, we'd be at full strength soon. But I kept seeing Demetrius improve and improve and improve. And, I think Saturday night was, I talked to Coach King after the game, and he said, man, he goes, we didn't hear much about number 11 in the scout report. I told him, I said, that's good.
To touch on Demetrius Jones, he was 6 for 6 from the floor. He had 8 rebounds total in the game.
Yeah.
Coach, don't know if you're aware of the stat, you might be. That's the first time that a team has entered the championship game undefeated and won. There had been 2 other prior times that a basketball team had entered the championship game undefeated and they lost both times. Kind of like the New England Patriots a few years ago getting into the Super Bowl and they lost to the New York Giants. Sorry to all you Patriots fans out there. But that was the first time that a basketball program made it undefeated and was victorious.
Well, I'm glad you're telling me that now, not before the game.
There's some things we won't say before the game. That is absolutely right. Can you tell us, was there a formal celebration today at the school?
There was. As far as the players, I brought them into the locker room. We ate my wife bought them a cake, and it had state champs on it, 2017 state champs, Monarchs, and it was an ice cream cake, and I gave out the state championship T-shirts, and of course they were ecstatic about that. But we had our own little celebration in a locker room, and now we're going to have a pep rally on Thursday during fourth period, and that's when the school, our student body and administration and staff and everyone else is going to be involved. But as far as our own little celebration today, I wanted to bring them in and just I hugged every one of them and thanked them, and that's it's look, I mean, these kids, they put in the time, they put in the effort. I fuss at them, and I'm sure they get tired of hearing it, and I push them sometimes to the edge to try to get them to reach their potential and make them the best, try to make them the best they can be. And I think, today when they walked in the locker room, I'd already put up on the dry erase board 2017 state champs, congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
I think they really understand why I really pushed that hard, or why I demand, why I, all the hard work in practice, the extra effort, the extra things us coaches ask for out of our players. I think it all paid off. I think they understood, and it was all worth it. When they put on those T-shirts and it said state championship, man, it was an incredible moment.